This is KTVO's Good Morning Heartland.
Welcome back. Every spring, many Heartland residents get plagued with allergy symptoms, and with spring officially here, even though temperatures aren't really cooperating, spring is here, and that means your allergies are right around the corner. Now, Dr. Justin Puckett from Complete Family Medicine is here this morning to break it all down for us. So I just mentioned it's cold outside. Why should we even start thinking about spring allergies?
Well, it's something that you definitely want to get ahead of, and so even as the weather start going up and down with temperatures, we're going to see some of the molds in that leaf litter starting to maybe act up a little bit, and then it won't be too long. I mean, you're already seeing buds on the trees, and we'll be seeing pollen in the air from the trees, and that happens, in late April, May, and then soon behind that will come the grasses, and then the ragweed, that usually comes later in the fall. That comes something down the road, but you want to get ahead of it because if you're going to do something to try to prevent it instead of just put a Band-Aid over it, then you've got to get a head start on it, and now's the time. Okay,
so you just said if you want to prevent it. Let's talk about those prevention measures. What are we talking about?
Well, the primary way is with allergy shots, or what we call immunotherapy, and so it's where you take what allergies are is a protein, whether it be a pollen or a piece of dander or whatever, gets exposed to our system, and our body's immune system says, oh, we don't like that, so we're going to cause a reaction. And the body, when it sees those, when it comes to that season and it gets bombarded, then the body overreacts and we get all of those symptoms. So when we're using immunotherapy, what we're doing is we're giving ourselves slowly increasing doses so that we can kind of wean into it so that the body doesn't freak out whenever it sees the real stuff. And it's quite successful. And, we can do that with allergy shots. We can do that now with some tablets under the tongue. There are some compounded immunotherapy where drops are used under the tongue, and then just getting ready to know that it's coming. Make sure that your medicine cabinet's stocked up with that symptomatic treatment as well.
Okay, now let's stay with the whole allergy shot. Can anybody get them? Is there a specific type of group that can get it? Let's talk about more about who's eligible to get those shots.
Well, for general immunotherapy, we do that for the environmental allergens. So that's going to be all of the pollens, the molds, the dusts, the danders, those sorts of things. Immunotherapy in the form of shots is not good for food allergies, so we're just talking about those environmental ones. And anyone can get those from little bitty all the way up. I usually tell folks that once they think that they want to that their kid is mature enough to go through at least one shot a week, that then they're ready to go. And even testing, sometimes we do it a little bit earlier because just knowing what you're allergic to can kind of help avoid that. So.
And allergies can develop over time. I never had allergies until I moved here, so that's possible as well, correct?
Yeah, and each region of the country is a little bit different in the types of pollens and the types of allergens that are seen. But it is true that as you've seen a big load of allergen over a period of years. In the first few years, your body kind of ignored it, but then for some reason, this is the year. And we see people present, well into the last half of their life that are having allergies for maybe the first time, certainly to the point where it's affecting their activity and their daily life to where they want to do something about it.
All right, and with these allergy shots, how often would somebody get one, and what are the expectations, or what should they expect after getting one?
Well, it depends on the protocol. The traditional allergy shot is given once a week in the doctor's office, and there are new protocols like what we use in our office where we're doing our immunotherapy at home. So you come to the office and get your first few shots in the office, so that we can monitor that for safety and also make sure that you're comfortable administering that at home. And then it can be done 3 times a week at home so that we can decrease the overall amount of dose decrease the dose at that time interval, but the weekly dose stays the same as if you were getting the once a week shot, but it makes it safer so that you can administer that at home. But it really varies upon the protocol. But the only real issue that we have is watching at that site where we give the shot. That there needs to be close observation for that initially into the process, or anytime that you're making a major change in the strength of your serum. But you'll get a small allergic-like welt around the spot of the injection. But that usually goes away with a few hours, and really no major issues.
All right, and finally, we talked about the shots. We talked about the under the tongue tablet that's also available. Now, do you also recommend taking over-the-counter allergy medicines to kind of help minimize our symptoms.
Yeah, and for those folks that just have real minor allergies, where they just they know that they get a little bit of an itchy throat or a drippy nose, and then it lasts for a few weeks and it's gone. Really, immunotherapy is probably overkill for those folks. So using over-the-counter antihistamines, the Claritin or Loratadine, Zyrtec, those sorts of medicines. We have prescription strength versions of those, although both of those medicines are actually available over the counter now at the old prescription strength, but we do have additional medications as well, nasal steroids and a variety of other symptomatic treatments that we use to kind of control that if it's more on a seasonal nature. But if it's something that's bothering people, not getting sleep, causing increased sinus infections, all of those sorts of things, then at least getting tested to find out what you're allergic to and then considering immunotherapy, I think, is a great option for folks.
Okay, perfect. So what we'll do is we'll post everything on our website at ktvo.com. I know that some people have already experienced some allergy symptoms and they've been complaining about it. So now is the time to do something about it. We'll link up Dr. Puckett's information with Complete Family Medicine. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.